Morning and welcome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to join our presentation this afternoon. We're thrilled to have the opportunity to share with you a little bit about who we are as an agency and a program here out of Tennessee. Today we're going to be sharing with you a relatively new model to our service continuum here at Ready, Set, Grow, family coaching, which we have created in partnership with folks from Vanderbilt University, Tulane University, and lots of other inputs and supports. But we're thrilled and we're just so grateful to have the opportunity to share space with you. Before we jump in, I'd love to take the opportunity to introduce myself as well as the lovely ladies joining me today. My name is Taylor Thurnau, and I have the opportunity to serve as the Ready, Set, Grow program director. So now I'd like to turn it over to Sheena so she can introduce herself as well.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sheena Lazenby. I'm a certified family support specialist with Tennessee Voices here in the Ready, Set, Grow program here in Middle Tennessee.
My name is Aretha Nelson. I'm a certified family support specialist, and I serve Middle Tennessee and surrounding counties.
Thank you so much, ladies, for taking the time to introduce yourself, and thank you again for joining today. For those that are hopping on, I wanted to take a moment just to address the Q&A portion. We are hopeful to have about 10 to 15 minutes at the end of today's content and presentation to answer any questions that you may have about our model, our programming, or some of the specific services and supports that we use with our families. You will see a QR code on your screen, and this QR code is going to take you to a back-end Google Drive that has a variety of resources and information, lots of content that we share today, and some of the tangible materials that we actually use with families as an example will be within that Google Drive. So please feel free to scan it if you have a mobile device handy, or Sheena's going to drop in the chat now the direct link if you prefer to access the resources that way. So wanted to make sure you had this information as we jump in and we get started. All right. So before we start talking about our family coaching model, we felt like it would be really important to introduce you to who we are as an agency here at Tennessee Voices and give you some background and history about the Ready Set Grow program. So Tennessee Voices is a mental health nonprofit that is based in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, offering a variety and umbrella of programs and supports that are available from pregnancy through end of life. So lots of different resources and information and supports available for everyone existing in our communities across Tennessee. In particular, the Ready, Set, Grow program has been around since 2010 when we were initially funded through our Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services to provide childcare consultations. And at this time, our primary focus was thinking about how we prevent exclusionary practices in early care and education settings. So, working with educators and schools to think about how we prevent things like suspension, expulsion, or even being asked to participate in a modified schedule, how we can mitigate that from happening so that our littlest learners have the opportunity to engage in the full content of the academic day. So our school-based services have been around from the very beginning, and we still offer those to this day. A little bit. Our school-based services have been available across all 95 counties in Tennessee, and recently, as of 2021, we had the opportunity to expand our programming, and we're able to offer supports directly to families in homes. So we've been working with that pyramid model for a long time with educators, and now we finally have the opportunity to bridge the gap between home and school as we support families on their parenting journey and thinking about how they promote those positive social emotional behaviors and skills from the earliest ages. So we work with parents, caregivers, educators of kiddos 0 to 8 across Tennessee. And overall, our vision is that all of our youngest Tennesseans.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, Taylor. It is still not working. I wanted to just let everybody know you can turn closed captions on. That is picking up the audio as we navigate this tech issue. Go to the bottom of your screen, and it might be in the more aspect of your Zoom screen to turn on those closed captions. And we'll figure this one out. Apologies.
Okay, we'll try again. Is the audio coming through okay now, Dana?
Yes, I think you need to stay kind of close to your mic.
Okay. I'm so sorry for that. But to catch us back up, we really aim to work with all of the adults that surround a child and ensure that they have access to an array of mental health consultation services that are anchored in the pyramid model framework. So, for those of you that may not be familiar with pyramid model, it is a tiered public health approach that guides adults' understanding of how children acquire those critical social and emotional skills, while also thinking about how we mitigate challenging behaviors and help adults to navigate certain situations that they may find challenging, like tantrums, biting. While these are all developmentally appropriate behaviors, sometimes as adults, as families and educators, we may not necessarily know what to do in that moment, and the pyramid model gives us practical and tangible strategies and supports so that we can make sure that we are helping children to develop those critical skills and teach them what to do, making sure that we are offering replacement behaviors, skills, and strategies that are going to be supportive as they navigate new environments and ensure that they are ready for school. So, taking a look at that pyramid model framework, you'll notice that it rests on an effective workforce. So, that is ensuring that our families, caregivers, and educators have access to an array of training experiences and opportunities, very similar to the Ready, Set, Grow program, making sure that we train and have up to date evidence based strategies and practices that we are continuing to roll out and offer and make available to our families. The next tier of the pyramid focuses on responsive relationships and high quality supportive environments. These are considered universal strategies and supports, which means that each and every child can benefit from the strategies that are within this tier. As we move up, you'll see the green tier, which focuses on that targeted teaching of social and emotional supports. So, this is where we're actually teaching those practical social skills like self regulation, friendship skills, helping with executive functioning skills for individual kiddos who need it. And then at the very top, we have intense intervention. And what we know from research is that when all other tiers of the pyramid model are working in conjunction in the spaces surrounding a child, only about 3 to 5% of kiddos will need that more intense level of intervention. As we dig in and begin to talk about our family coaching model, as well as our array of mental health consultation services within the Ready, Set, Grow program, you'll notice that we are really sticking in that green and blue tier for the primary amount of time that we are working with families and kiddos. We're considered a prevention and promotion based program. So we want to make sure that we are promoting those positive skills and working to mitigate the challenging behaviors that may be encountered at home for early childhood or within the classroom and school-based setting. So, we've talked a little bit about mental health consultation, and I wanted to introduce the topic of infant and early childhood mental health consultation, or IECMHC, which is a prevention based approach that pairs a consultant with the adults who work closely with young children in a variety of settings. Today, we'll be focusing specifically on our family support services, mostly family coaching, and breaking down that model and thinking about how that can really benefit families and kiddos. This is a specific support in Tennessee that pairs a peer with lived experience in navigating children's mental health systems and supports with a parent or a caregiver, and focuses on building up that parent's capacity and empowering them to facilitate their child's healthy social emotional development. So, as we talked about, this is an overall picture of our overall continuum of services here at Ready, Set, Grow. We offer those professional developments and trainings for early childhood professionals, educators, and parents that are grounded in the pyramid model framework and focus on a variety of social and emotional topics. For schools that are interested in going all in pyramid and thinking about how they infuse pyramid model practices into each and every classroom at their school or center, we offer programmatic consultation, which pairs a years long process of training, fidelity measures, and classroom consultation. And at the end of around a 3 year process, we expect that centers will become a demonstration site, which means any school or professional in Tennessee could go into any classroom at that site and see pyramid model at work and in action. Our classroom consultations are a professional development experience that target a specific classroom. This puts teachers in the driver's seat of their own professional development as they explore ways to implement pyramid model practices in their classroom. And then our child centered consultations are our most specific practice. This is an experience where kiddos who may be struggling with the acquisition of certain social emotional skills, needing some support in navigating challenging behaviors that are in the classroom, or potentially working to prevent exclusionary practices like suspension or expulsion. We work with specific educators, the family, administrators to develop a comprehensive support plan that helps the kiddo to learn those important skills and fill the gaps of what may be missing. The next piece that I'll point out are our behavioral consultations. This is all the same thing as our child centered consultation with the added element of one on one skill building sessions where we have behavioral consultants that are able to go in and empower the teacher, provide concrete strategies, supports, modeling, and reflective conversations in the classroom, while also having time to work one on one with the kiddo to help them to acquire those social emotional skills in a different setting. This is a specific procedure that we have a partnership with Memphis Shelby County Schools as we work in their kindergarten programming. And then finally, we arrive at our family support services where we will camp out for the rest of today's presentation. As I shared earlier, our family support services are relatively new. This program came to us as we thought about how we could capitalize on the rich history and experience in Tennessee of leveraging those folks with lived experience into systems. And we thought about what it would look like to integrate lived experience within our infant and early childhood mental health sector here in Tennessee. So, our family support services take two real tracks. We have our family coaching, which is where one of our family support specialists will render services in the home environment virtually, or even a hybrid option where we go to the home and also provide services virtually, depending on the convenience of the family. We work with those families for roughly 8 to 10 weeks as we help them to navigate challenges and help them to understand how they can best support their child's acquisition of new social and emotional skills. We also have our family training side of services where we deliver positive solutions for families cohort that is facilitated in a group setting, primarily virtually, as well as our toolkit trainings where we support and prepare families for what to expect as they are walking that journey of raising a young family. So, we can't talk about family coaching without centering family voice and really thinking about how the power of a peer and the value of lived experience plays into all of the things that we do as we support families on their journey. There is something so powerful about that statement of I've been there too. And truly, each and every family support specialist that is offering this service within the program is a parent or caregiver who has navigated those challenging systems, and they can reach out a hand, extend that hand to families as they're navigating challenging journeys, and share their lived experience to create a more holistic approach and understanding and partnership with families. So now I'd like to turn it over to Sheena to talk a little bit about how she leverages her lived experience within the program and what it means to her.
Thank you, Taylor. So, when we talk about the power of a peer, we're often asked about our why. So, my why is rooted in connection. The belief of growth, healing, and success, those aren't just a solo journey, but a shared one. I'm driven by the power of peer, someone who listens without judgment, walks beside you through challenges, and reminds you that you're not alone. So, peer support holds a unique kind of power, the power of understanding through shared experiences and hope through example and of changing through empathy. What makes our program special is how we live out those beliefs every day. We listen to understand, not to respond, creating a safe and supportive space where families can share their struggles openly and honestly. In our work, families are often in that driver's seat. We honor their voices, their pace, and their goals. Our role is to walk beside them, alongside them, offering guidance and encouragement while they steer their own journey. We stay flexible and responsive, meeting families where they are because true support adapts, listens, and grows with the people that we serve. Together, we build trust, nurture resilience, and remind one another that healing and hope is possible when we walk that road together. So I'm going to pass it to Aretha to share a little bit about her why.
I was one of the first original families that participated, started in 1999, and would become Nashville Connection with Tennessee Voices for Children founder program for the system of care for children with social emotional. From 1999 to 2004, I applied these strategies with my own family, which includes two sets of twins. One set is ADHD and my other set is autistic. My children consistently show significant behavior improvement within 3 weeks, a success I shared with also supporting families in the program. When I heard about early childhood program, I knew I wanted to return and help families with challenged behaviors, just as I did years ago.
Thank you so much, Aretha and Sheena, for sharing your experiences. That the power of lived experience, we have seen just such wonderful opportunities to extend that partnership and build relationship with families from the perspective of I've been there too. I may not have all the answers right now, but I'm going to help you to navigate and advocate so that you can support your own kiddos and learn those critical skills as a parent to then teach social emotional skills. And that is what it's all about. So I have another a video here that I'd love to share for you. This is another one of our consultants in the program, and she's going to share a little bit with you about that lived experience and talk about what it means to her to deliver services within the context of the Ready, Set, Grow coaching program. So let's take a moment to listen to Miss Cherie.
So as an FSS, we go into your home, we meet with the caregiver, and we discuss of what's going on with your child while you contacted us, one, and dealing with the child's challenging behaviors each day or whenever they transpire. Trying to see if we can set up strategies or different learning tools to assist the family in kind of lightening that situation. As I explain to families all the time, challenging behavior isn't easy, just like being a parent or caregiver doesn't come with a manual. It's not easy. It's a little bit of trial and error. I've learned from my own self with my own child and life experiences. And just trying to get the situation where your child can be better off in a successful environment. Trying to get them not perfect. I don't want to say perfect, but trying to support them to just manage their behaviors, their feelings, knowing and being able to point those things out and knowing how to deal with them when they do arise.
The professionals with the caregivers.
A lot of the time, the families are paired with caregivers based off, it could be something simple as their personality, a little bit of their background, keeps a hold of how you do have those particular cases that you're willing to help.
Tell me what that means to you. If I say preschool expulsion, what does that mean?
That touches a special place in my heart for preschool or children expulsion period, pre-K, kindergarten. I dealt with that with mine now. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm sorry, with my now 10-year-old.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. He had a lot of challenging behaviors, and I don't like when someone that doesn't know your child always constantly touches on, they could have this going on. You're not in my home. You don't know. You know what's going on. He did have challenging behaviors. We got him support he needed. And he got the help locally. And it made him become a better person. It helped me become a better mom. Where I could understand my child's needs. And he needed me more than what I was giving him.
So Cherie is truly an inspiring She's truly inspiring for her willingness to be vulnerable and authentic. By sharing her real life experiences, she reminds us of how powerful it is to embrace our own journeys. The success, the struggles, and the lessons were all alike. Her openness and it highlights the importance of lived experiences as a source of wisdom, growth, and connection. Through her honesty and courage, Cherie shows that being real is not a weakness, but one of the greatest strengths that we can offer ourselves and to our families. So, lived experience is a significant component of our family support services here at Ready, Set, Grow. We also provide our team with a comprehensive ongoing training to support our work with families. There is a lot that goes into empowering our team to do the work well, and we aren't alone as we support our families. We make sure that we're up to date on the best practices because these are the ingredients in making a family support specialist. So let's go over some of those ingredients. First and foremost is about our lived experiences. Then we're certified through the state of Tennessee. We're endorsed through AIM High Tennessee, which is the Association of Infant Mental Health in Tennessee. We receive specialized pyramid model and infant early childhood mental health training. We participate in community of practice sessions with Vanderbilt Hemater Lab, and we receive monthly administrative, reflective, and clinical supervision. So, who is a good candidate for a family support specialist? So, family support services are designed for parents and caregivers of children ages 0 to 8 with no diagnosis required. These services are for families who want to nurture their child's healthy social and emotional development and are open to learning new ways to strengthen their connection, communication, and have more confidence at home. So, a good candidate is someone who wants to value their relationship with their child and wants to build a positive, nurturing home environment. They're open to supports with daily routines, transitions, communications, and help managing those big feelings or behaviors inside the home. They want to reflect on their parenting beliefs and values and explore new strategies that align with what matters the most with their family. And they're willing to adapt to new suggestions for home routines and things around in their home environment to help that child grow, learn, and have more of that positive behavior. Every family has strengths, and through partnership and support, those strengths can get even stronger. So we often get questions like, when should we reach out for services? So during times of transition, such as parental separation, divorce, foster care placement, or something as simple as an arrival of a new baby, families may reach out to find guidance and balance as everyone adjusts to change. When the child faces challenging behaviors at school, such as suspension or expulsion, parents and caregivers often turn to peer support to explore options and find encouragement through those difficult moments. Families relocating to a new city or state or even starting a new school may also benefit from the supports as they adapt to those new routines, building new connections, or helping that child feel at home in a very unfamiliar situation. Parents and caregivers may seek assistance in understanding and responding to challenging behaviors like tantrums, defiance, or biting, so they can approach their child's needs with confidence, empathy, and effective strategy. So, family coaching is designed to reduce family stress, promote positive behavior, and help children build the skills needed for optimal development and school readiness. Through support, strength-based approach, family coaching empowers those parents and caregivers with practical tools and strategies that strengthen those relationships and create a calmer, more connected home environment. Again, we serve in Ready, Set, Grow ages 0 to 8. Our typical sessions are about between 8 to 10 sessions that are tailored around each of the families. We create collaboratively with the parents or caregivers on creating a family support plan. We want them to tell us what they want to see more of, what they want to see less of. And we introduce the Positive Solutions for Families curriculum, which is an evidence based guidance focused on building emotional social skills and providing more of a positive behavior. So, those benefits to our program is to increase social emotional function in children, have a reduction in challenging behavior, and reduce disruption in family routines, leading to a more balanced and positive home environment.
Thank you so much, Sheena, for walking us through that definition of family coaching and thinking about in practice what it's looked like for us when people reach out for supports. One of the things that we're really proud of in our program is that it's open to each and every caregiver of a child residing in Tennessee between the ages of 0 and 8. So, as Sheena pointed out, there's no diagnostic requirement. We can support kiddos who have been diagnosed with a particular mental or behavioral health diagnosis and those that haven't been. It's accessible to families, and we're proud to offer that because there are times that each and every family can benefit from coaching and going deeper to understand the root cause, the function of behavior, while also building up those social skills and teaching appropriate skills and behaviors. So now we're going to take a look at the overall coaching components. We've talked about why it's helpful, but what actually is family coaching? Family coaching starts out with initial paperwork and data collection. So, at the outset of services, we're gathering a family social history. We want to know who's in the family, what's their background look like, what experiences have they been through, so that we can start to understand exactly who we'll be working with. And then, of course, for the child, we're going to be gathering some baseline social and emotional data. And we use the Devereaux Early Childhood Assessment tool for our kiddos that are infants, toddlers, or preschoolers. And for our elementary age kiddos, we're using something called the Strengths and Difficulties Questionnaire. Something that's going to be important for us to point out is that while the child is the focus of service, we are primarily communicating with that adult. So as we engage in family coaching services, it's all about the kiddo, but we're really working intentionally to build relationship, to build trust and connection with the parents, caregivers, and family that surround that child at home. So, next, once we have gathered all of our initial information, we're going to facilitate an intake visit. And that's where we are laying that foundation for relationship and setting expectations. So, Sheena's going to talk to us a little bit about how she facilitates those visits as she works with families in the program.
Yeah, so as Taylor said, our initial visit is about creating that foundation, starting that relationship with the caregiver or the parent. We want to highlight the why. What brought them to our program? We want to make sure that we are engaging and listening because it's important to start that relationship with a listening ear. We want to go over the SDQ and the DECA. That's going to give them a snapshot of where we're starting at with those behaviors. And then we want to talk more about what they want to see more of, what they want to see less of. We want to start building those goals starting in our initial intake visit so we can start moving forward to help correct some of those behaviors that they might be seeing.
Thank you so much for walking us through that, Sheena. After we get to know the family and we work together to identify some common goals and line up some strategies that will be supportive, we move into our content visit. And that is where we really spend most of our time in the provision of service is delivering content. This is an opportunity for us to practice new skills with the family and identify specific strategies and maybe model them, have reflective conversation from a variety of sources. In just a couple of slides, Aretha is going to take us through some examples of the resources that we use, as well as some specific strategies. But for now, Aretha, I'd love for you to share with us a little bit about what a content visit may look like.
Resources that we use is Positive Solutions for Families, NCMPI, ASQ, Conflict Discipline. This is a this is a strategy I want to talk about. It's on challengebehavior.org. Self-regulation is a goal. I will go in the family home and we will work on our family support plan. I will introduce the strategy. And the strategy with self regulation is Tucker the Turtle, scripted story, and the puppet with the 4 flashcards with the steps to be able to calm down. Then I will model with the family. After I model with the family, I will show the family how to use Tucker the Turtle to teach them how to calm their child down. After that, I would encourage them to use the strategy for at least 2 weeks.
Miss Aretha. So as Aretha talked about, as we're working with families, we want to teach them, we want to give them those practical skills and strategies like Tucker the Turtle. And that brings us right into resource linkage. So as we are working together and delivering those content visits, we also want to make sure that we are connecting families with the appropriate resources, supplies, and even community partners to provide a holistic picture of support that equips them to meet the full scope of needs that their kiddos may have. Sheena, would you mind to share with us a little bit more about what exactly resource linkage means and what it looks like in the program?
Absolutely. So we provide families with a resource linkage, strategy materials, and hands on advocacy to help children and caregivers thrive. Our team connects families to clinical supports, community resources, and tools that promote healthy social and emotional development. Through the use of the ASQ SE2 screening, we help families better understand their child's social emotional strengths and areas for growth, empowering them with the strategies and the connections that support lasting success.
Thank you so much, Sheena. So, as you can see, as we're working through our model, not only is family coaching pairing the tangible content, the strategies, the supports, the modeling, and the implementation guidance to share and to use those techniques with kiddos, but we're also thinking about the bigger picture of the family with resource linkage and making sure that we are still giving them those connections to additional referral partners and sources to meet the comprehensive needs. So it has just really been a lovely partnership between a person with lived experience that can help you as you are navigating challenging behaviors and teaching new social skills, while also being able to take a step back and help families to feel more connected to their communities and supported holistically. And that really brings us to the end of our family coaching process. And something that I always like to share is that success in our program doesn't always mean that there will never be an instance of challenging behavior. Kiddos may have tantrums, they may have moments, or they may still experience those pockets of behaviors that adults can find challenging. What's important and what we hope that we leave families with is the confidence and the knowledge to know what to do in those situations. Rather than what not to do and how to respond appropriately in a way that is supportive not only to their relationship with their child, but also helps their child to learn and grow. Every interaction and experience is an opportunity for us to teach. And we truly believe that all learning happens in the context of relationship, which is why it's so important for us to work through family coaching to empower and equip families. So, as we conclude services, we want to think about that. We want to know that things are going to come up, and we want to support families to plan for ongoing support and implementation of our family support plans, even after we have phased out and stepped away from the actual delivery of coaching sessions. So, Miss Aretha is going to share with us how she plans for ongoing success and how she celebrates growth with families as they graduate from our program.
We review the final data from DECA and SDQ. We go over the family questionnaire. When the family start the program, they feel a lot of stress. But when they finish, they were strong and ready to face the future, confidence, and plan with less stress. We celebrate the growth of the child. The child will receive a certificate. I put together resource lists by the child's zip code. So that way they can have support when I walk away. If a family needs help in the future, they can set up the Ready, Set, Grow, Connect on Teams.
Thanks, Miss Aretha, for walking us through that. So now that we've taken a look at the various components of family coaching from start to finish, we thought it might be helpful to have a honed in focus on what an actual visit might look like. So, as we begin to facilitate a content visit or a coaching session, we want to make sure that we're checking in, setting the agenda. We've designed family coaching to be flexible. Sometimes we come in with a plan, but based on the unique needs of the family and where they are, we're flexible enough to be able to meet them where they are and problem solve around things that may have come up. So I'd love to again turn it over to Miss Aretha, who's going to walk us through what a typical visit looks like with a family. And then she will also go on to share with us some information about our example resources, some of those big ideas around content that we are sharing, as well as the example strategies that we are tangibly teaching families. So, Miss Aretha, take it away.
When I first go into a family home, I ask them how they're doing. Then I introduce what we're going to work on today. Then I ask them how was the activity in between that I left when I was there at first. Then I pull out the new activity that we will go over and practice together. I confront the next visit, the date and time. Next, I introduce the between activity. Then I ask the family, is there anything that they need before I leave? Big ideas, where do we pour all over contents? It's from challengebehavior.org, Positive Solutions for Families, Family Resource Guide, ASQ, SE2, Tip Sheet, and Newsletter, Advanced Help Behavior, and check.org. Significant strategies that we use when teaching families to support their kiddos and their social and emotional development. A scripted story helps. Also, the first and then board, the bank time, the feelings wheel, and the calm down corner. Here are materials that we can share with the family about self regulations, calm down techniques. Tucker the Turtle, the parent will read the book first, then go over the 4 steps to calm down. The backpack sheet tries strategies, then practice the strategy. Last, step into the bottom line, then the child and the parent will work together on the strategy. And after they work together on that strategy for a number of times and the child gets it, then they celebrate together. The calm down sheet. The parent and I will read the calm down sheet. We will also create a calm down corner in the child's room. We get a bean bag, we get books, we get pictures, we get stuffed animals, and when the child have big feelings, they know they have a place where they can go and calm down. Here are more materials I made off of challenge behaviors to support self-regulations and calm down techniques. First and then board helps with the child transition and routines. The middle cards come from We Can Be Problem Solvers. It has 4 steps to it, teaching a child how to solve a problem. The next is a solution toolkit. The solution toolkits help the child express his or her needs. In the next, we have Tucker the Turtle, 4 steps to calm down. This is to help the child to calm down when they out in the open. If they're in a grocery store, if they're in a shopping center, we can pull out the card so they can calm down. The next is a bingo game. This bingo game is what I use with families to help them to bond. It also helps the child to learn the emotional. And when they learn the emotions, they feel good about themselves and they can make faces and stuff while they playing along with the game.
Thank you so much, Miss Aretha, for walking us through Some of the resources that we use as we develop content to share with family, as well as sharing some of the strategies that we integrate into our behavior support plans. This program is, like I said, it's new since 2021, and we have been gathering data and testimonials and working to refine to ensure that we are providing families with high quality experiences. And we thought it might be helpful as well to share a few parent testimonials. We had a parent to share with us that we've seen a complete 180 from our child. He plays better with others, communicates in more positive ways, and I feel like I'm able to parent how I've always wanted. How powerful to feel that you have been unlocked. You have the tools, the strategies, and supports to be able to connect with your child and support them and parent the way you want to. We also had someone to share that her family support specialist was kind and calm and heard her concerns and provided some ideas and tips and resources to support goals. She consistently checked on us and made sure that we had the resources that we needed. So this again speaks to the holistic nature of family coaching. We want to make sure that we are putting families in the driver's seat, that we are listening to understand, that we are working together to identify those shared goals and then helping families to forge the path together, including them in the process of building family support plans, and then ensuring that we are connecting them, providing that resource linkage, whether it's to tangible materials so that they can implement the identified strategies with their own kiddo, or potentially connecting with other service providers like ABA, speech therapy, connecting to early intervention services, or even clinical supports. Not only did we have testimonials, but we wanted to share some of the data that we have begun collecting, and it is powerful. This is representative of all families that have completed the program, and pre and post service data was available. You heard Aretha to talk about that retrospective family survey, the family impact questionnaire, and we found that there's a significant reduction in family disruptions due to challenging behaviors after families graduate from the program. Even more, we saw that caregiver stress was significantly reduced. You see that green column represents family disruptions as well as caregiver stress before starting the Ready, Set, Grow family coaching program compared to after. We see that families are experiencing stress almost always, as well as those disruptions almost always and very consistently. So we're proud to be able to not only have the stories from families to demonstrate the impact, but also some data points to share as well. Um, Additionally, from a social emotional perspective, we're grabbing that social emotional screener pre and post. Over 83% of those that complete services with family coaching are demonstrating growth in at least one social emotional domain or area. And we found that the most significantly impacted area over and over seems to be self regulation. So, that skill of self regulation, when we think about those calm down corners, when we think about teaching children to manage their feelings and emotions, it goes back to self regulation. They know how to handle and manage those big feelings, they know how to solve problems. And we see that to be a skill significantly impacted from the data that we've collected just this far. We've also been thinking about what it looks like to expand our opportunities to support. Recently, we are working towards the end of a state level collaboration called Built for Babies, which was a technical assistance experience where we partnered with a variety of organizations and agencies within Tennessee in partnership with 0 to 3 that focused on the expansion and integration of peer family supports within the infant early childhood mental health sector here in Tennessee. As of July 2025, so this year, we've actually, for the first time, been able to take our family coaching model statewide and have hired on 2 additional family support specialists to help us as we increase our coverage area. We also built in through this project opportunity for scholarship. So you heard Miss Sheena and Aretha to talk about the certification in Tennessee for peer family support. We have $11,000 available in scholarship to support the workforce. So we're proud of the work that we have done, and we're proud to continue doing it. So, you heard us to talk a lot, very in depth on family coaching. And now I'd like to turn our attention to our other family services that really provide additional options for families. This can be used complementary to family coaching. So, oftentimes we see families to do family coaching and positive solutions for families or pop in for a family training. Or, depending on a family's preference or schedule, they may start with some trainings and move into coaching when they feel comfortable and ready. So I'd like to turn it over now to Sheena to share with us some more information about our other family services.
Yeah, at Ready, Set, Grow, we offer a variety of additional family services that are designed to meet families where they are and support every step of their journey. So let's just take a closer look of how our programs can help strengthen connections, build those new skills, and create a positive, lasting change for our families. So next slide. There you go. So, Positive Solutions for Families is a 7-part series that is designed to help parents and caregivers build strong, nurturing relationships with their children while promoting positive behaviors at home. Through family toolkit trainings, families gain practical strategies for engaging with intention, understanding the power of rules and routines, and decoding challenging behaviors in a supportive, proactive way. We offer specialized training on implementing the pyramid model within the home environment, covering topics such as teaching friendship skills, supporting emotional regulation, and managing those big feelings. Each session empowers families with tools, confidence, and connection to create a calm, consistent, and caring space with our children so they can thrive. These trainings are a wonderful transition or complement to our program and can be used to start at as a starting point for our services. So, Ready, Set, Connect calls are designed for those moments when you need a quick, focused support, but may not have the time to commit to ongoing services. These short term collaborative problem solving conversations are here to help families and parents and caregivers navigate those challenging behaviors that are related to behaviors, attachment, peer relationships, or emotional regulation. This is also a great resource linkage for our past clients, as Aretha spoke about earlier, for our closing visits to supply them with a Ready, Set, Connect flyer so that if they need just a quick checkup or there's a new behavior that presented, we're here even after our services have ended where we can give them supports, resources, and possibly a better perspective. Whether you're unsure what to do next or simply need just that fresh perspective, our team is here to listen, guide, and provide practical strategies to help you support the children in your care with confidence and compassion. This is a no cost service. All of our services can be used together to provide several layers of support to our children and those who support them. So here's our couple of QR codes from before our training handouts, but also here's a QR code for our newsletter. If you want to sign up for our newsletter, that would be great. You'll get ongoing updates and resources. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. We are so proud of our model and hope you found this presentation both informative and inspiring. It was fun to talk about our family coaching model. Here is mine, Aretha, and Taylor's contact information. Please feel free to reach out. We would love to hear from you. So I'd like to thank you guys again for the work that you do. And thank you again for inviting us here today to share with you all about family coaching. So I'd like to open up the floor and the mic to anybody that might have any questions about our program. Or you can drop it in the chat. Can you put the contact slide back up for us, Taylor? Thank you. Well, if we don't have any questions, that's all we have for today. Can you talk about what kind of training you provide to the FSS before meeting with these families? Yeah, so a lot of the trainings that we do for ourselves, is that what you're wanting to know? Is for ourselves? I want to make sure. For our, yeah, for each FSS, yes. So we do a competency course where we get certified through the state of Tennessee. That is a week long training that we have to go through. And then we also take a test at the very end of it to make sure that we do retain those knowledges. We also do things through Vanderbilt. We do things through Aim High Tennessee. We do the reflectives. We do pyramid model. So we try to make sure we are up to date. So when there's in-person peer conferences for family supports and whatnot, we go to those so we can learn new techniques. We can get a better understanding of what might be shifting, those changes out there. Because as we know, within any state, there are constant changes within the family dynamics, correct? So we want to make sure that we're up to date with those new informations and things like that. Does that answer? We also have somebody that would love the bingo cards um, that they can engage with their families. That's great.
The bingo cards come on Teacher Pay Teacher.
Yeah. And that's a fun activity to do with our families. Can we share our slides, Taylor? That would be a you question. Can you facilitate that one?
Yes, we definitely can. So, Sheena, if you wouldn't mind to drop that Google Drive link in the chat one more time, that was the QR code for the training resources and handouts. We can go ahead and pop these slides into that file as well, so it'll be easily accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And all conference attendees will receive a link to a folder with all slides in it as well.
It's been great engaging. I have a family that is going to contact you guys. Woo! We love that. We love that. And remember, we're now in all 95 counties. So wherever you're at on the Tennessee map, we got y'all covered. Let's see really quick. Thank you. Do you have any free cell phone apps that you commonly use or recommend? Like with our clients that we use?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we connect if we can't get with them via the phone or in person. We also use our teams a lot. And then we also do it through Zoom. So we just want to we try to give them the best possible, like how we can reach them and how we can communicate. We literally meet them where they're at.
And
Um,
also
there's
we do,
Go ahead, Ms. Aretha.
oh, I'm sorry. And also, if a parent is sort of kind of busy, I have done phone visits during their lunch break, and sometimes I do it on their drive home. And that way they can still be able to have their visit, and then I will text them the little stuff that we had to do. So that way they'll know to work on it when they're home.
Yeah, I've met many of my clients through their lunch breaks and whatnot. We really try to meet them where they're at, and I do try when during meeting their lunch breaks, I do try to keep in mind that they are on their lunch break. So I try to get to the point. We try to get everything covered so I can let them go so they can enjoy a lunch because that's important too.
I'm sorry, I guess I mean to say like the Sesame Street Breathe app or the Understood app. Are there any apps that you recommend for parents to use to help with challenging behaviors?
Courtney, I can get you some information. We actually worked closely with a researcher out of the Barton Lab from Vanderbilt. They were working on developing what's called the FBS app, where it's actually it helps to track challenging behaviors while simultaneously teaching families and going through various prevention techniques. So that app is something that can be used in conjunction with a coach, as well as families are able to access it independently. It's available for free on Google, the Google Play Store, as well as Apple, I have seen, and it's called the FBS app. I can work to get some information on that, a flyer that I have into the training resources as well. But that would be the primary one that focuses on challenging behaviors that I am most familiar with.
Thank you.
We also love the behavioral checker. So, like, if there's a child that has a defiance order, disorder, like defiance behavior, or, biting or hitting and stuff like that, all we do is we have to just plug in, hey, they're biting. And it will give us those tangible resources to talk with the parents. So, it gives those parents something to read that they can, how to prevent it or how to prepare for it. And if it does happen, how to, redirect those behaviors.
What does the FBS stand for that app?
Sorry, coming off mute. I believe functional behavior supports, but it has been a little bit since I've accessed that app, so I can certainly get more information of that, and I'd be happy to connect you and put contact information. If you'd like to reach out to us directly, I'd be happy to connect you with the folks that work most closely with that app that can give some more solid information. I know just enough to be dangerous about it.
We appreciate everybody being here today and listening to our family coaching. It has come a long way, and it's just going to get even bigger as we pull in those numbers and we just keep learning and things like that. And we're hoping that it doesn't just, stay in our state. It goes to all these other states too. We would love to see family coaching in all the states because that's really what it's all about. So we do thank you guys again for being here today. And if you have any questions, these are our emails. Like, email us and I will connect you to whoever is that person that might have the answer. Or I might have the answer myself. So, but we do appreciate you guys being here today.